Alzheimer's and dementia are health crises that impact millions of Americans a year, but computerized visual training exercises and other brain training games are showing signs of helping the elderly fight dementia. The WSJ's Sumathi Reddy is here to discuss. Welcome to you.
Hi.
Okay, so these games are showing that they may be a beneficial tool in helping to reduce dementia.
So yeah, this is an extremely exciting long-term study, which is the first they've found the first behavioral intervention to actually reduce the risk of getting dementia, which has never been found before in a drug, in any sort of behavioral intervention, in cognitive training, nothing. And this is a particular type of cognitive training. It's called speed of processing. It's like a visual speed of processing exercise.
Okay, and under that, you say 10 hours of training can reduce the chances of dementia drastically. Do you mean 10 hours over like a 10-week period or a week?
This was over 10 years.
Okay.
So what they did was they did this training. There was 3 groups of people. One group got memory training, one group got reasoning training, one group got speed of processing training on a computer. The group that got speed of processing training on a computer is the one that had a 50% chance of reduction of getting dementia 10 years later.
Okay, but how often were they going for this?
So this particular group, it was 10 hours.
Okay.
So it was 10 hours over the course of 5 weeks in year 1. And some of them got booster training sessions after a year and after 3 years. But the effects are going all the way out to 10 years, so it's pretty dramatic.
Okay, tell me about this game double decision, because that was one of the things that was highlighted.
Yeah, so that's the particular thing they were trained in. It's a computer, it's not a game, it's more of an exercise. And it basically involves like telling the difference between 2 cars, like what's different about them. Maybe one has, they look very similar, same color, but one has a convertible top, one has a top that's not a convertible. And at the same time, you have distractions around you, and you have to find one particular sign, and there's all different signs kind of moving. So it's really about your vision, and it's also been found to reduce car crashes as well.
Okay, so this is, well, that's a big deal because people are reluctant to give up their licenses and things like that. So what about young people? Can young people benefit from these as well or not?
So that's one of the big questions. They have questions about how often this should be done in terms of like dosing as well as when it should be started. The researcher I talked to who led the analysis said she thinks people should be doing it now. It is commercially available, and she thinks, you can start it when you're 50, as young as 50.
Okay, but there's also been some skepticism by experts in the field. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, there's been a lot. there's a lot of products out there right now. A lot of them make claims about, improving cognitive health, reducing dementia. The FTC's actually fined some companies because unless you can prove that, you can't say that. This is the first time that there's actually been evidence that a game can actually reduce dementia. So I know this particular company, Posit Science, is applying to the FDA to get an indication for the game.
Okay, and what does it improve? Let's talk a little bit about that.
So it's called speed of processing visual training.
Right.
So it's really it's similar to like when you're driving, your peripheral vision, what you can see outside of your peripheral vision. And this particular skill is one thing that declines with age. As young as starting in your 20s or 30s, you start getting worse at this. So this exercise, not only does it help you with the actual vision, but it transfers to other areas, which is what I guess is leading to this sort of decreased risk of dementia.
Okay, so this is a major breakthrough. Do you see this as something that is going to be implemented nationwide soon?
No, there is, most of the researchers who were not involved with this study were first of all very impressed with it. They were calling it landmark, the results were astonishing, very surprising, but they did caution that it needs to be replicated. There needs to be more studies to kind of figure out what's the mechanism, what's the dosing, when you should start. So they're not necessarily going to jump out and recommend this to all their patients right away. There's still a lot of unanswered questions that need to be answered. Okay,
I think you said earlier 50, but let's just make sure I'm clear. What age is this recommended for?
So yes, this one particular researcher who led the analysis does think that you can do this as early, that you'll get benefits as early as 50.
Okay, and how do people find it?
Posit Science has a website. You can go on there. They have a product called Brain HQ, which has a bunch of different exercises, and that one of them is this just double decision game that's on there, and you pay, I think it's like $100 for the year, and you get access to it.
Okay, so it's Pokemon Go for 50-year-olds, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.